Hello, and welcome to Ohio DOT's training for its Multimodal Design Guide, or the MDG. This video is the 11th module of a 13-part training series that will span the entirety of the guide. In this video, we'll discuss Chapter 10, Transit Facilities. This chapter provides guidance for the design of bus transit-related infrastructure, referred to as transit facilities. Transit facilities include the spaces that are required for boarding and alighting activities for transit passengers, infrastructure needed for bus vehicles to serve those waiting areas, and reserved travel lanes for the exclusive use of transit operations. The design of streets that include transit operations should be coordinated directly with the relevant transit agency. Local transit agency guidelines should be used in jurisdictions where transit agencies have additional planning and design guidance for bus stops. Section 10.2 of the Multimodal Design Guide discusses universal accessibility, which must be a priority for the design of all transit facilities. Transit trips begin with and end with a pedestrian or bicycling journey. As such, the design of bus stops and connections to bus stops must accommodate safe and comfortable facilities for people walking, using wheelchairs, mobility aids, bicycles, scooters, and other mobility devices. Bus stop infrastructure should provide for safe and comfortable interactions and connections between transit and other modes. This section summarizes the underlying factors that should be evaluated for these design principles. The portion of the transit journey between the start or end of the bus stop is just as important as the experience at the bus stop itself or boarding the transit vehicle. Municipalities and transit agencies should work together to ensure that the pedestrian infrastructure in the areas around transit stops is sufficient for safe and comfortable access. This is done by providing quality passenger waiting areas and bus stop amenities, such as shelters and bicycle parking. Section 10.3 of the guide provides considerations for bus stops to support first and last mile connections, as well as accessibility requirements based on the available space and bus stop layout. Section 10.4 of the guide provides guidance for locating the bus stop zone. The bus stop zone is the paved area where a bus stops, as well as the spaces required for deceleration, acceleration, and merging into and out of the bus stop areas. The placement and design of the bus stop zone within the street cross-section is dependent on many factors and can be designed to meet several objectives. There are two major aspects of bus stop design: stop placement and stop configuration. The guide provides a table that discusses the application of different stop placements, including far side, near side, and mid-block stops. Design parameters are provided for the two primary stop configurations and based on the stop placement. The figures shown on this side illustrate options for in-lane bus stops, but pull-out bus stops are also discussed in the Multimodal Design Guide. In locations with on-street bicycle facilities, bus stops should be designed to address interactions between bicyclists, transit riders, and the transit vehicles. Three configurations can be used to manage bicycle and bus conflicts. In locations with on-street bicycling facilities, bus stops should be designed to address interactions between bicyclists, transit riders, and transit vehicles. Three configurations can be used to manage bicycle and bus conflicts: a floating bus stop, where the bike lane is located behind the bus boarding and alighting area and requires pedestrians to cross the bike lane to make accesses between the sidewalk and the transit platform. The second option is a constrained floating bus stop, where the bike lane ramps up to sidewalk elevation for the length of the transit stop and serves as a portion of the boarding and alighting area. And finally, a bicycle facility between the travel lane and the bus stop, where the bus pulls into and through the bike lane to access the bus stop. The application and design of these configurations are discussed in detail in section 10.5 of the guide. In addition, detailed drawings are provided for both regular and constrained floating bus stops at the end of that chapter. Bus-only lanes designate the use of a travel lane for the exclusive use of buses. Bus lanes can significantly improve transit speeds by separating buses from general purpose traffic. Bus-bike lanes are a type of shared lane for the exclusive use of both transit and bicyclists. Bus-bike lanes may be considered on streets that do not include other on-road bicycle facilities. Bus-bike lanes have the challenge that they do not alleviate the bus-bike conflicts that are discussed in this chapter. So in congested conditions, buses typically cannot pass slower moving bicyclists, and bicyclists typically cannot pass buses unless there are adequate gaps in the general purpose lane. Section 10.6 of the guide discusses markings and signage needed for these types of facilities. In addition, there is guidance for selecting between left side and right side bus-only lanes. Ohioans are served by 61 different transit systems, 27 located in urban centers and 34 operating in rural areas. Some of these providers have their own transit design standards, while others may have formally or informally adopted national standards. Designers must coordinate with these agencies from the beginning of a project to ensure that transit accommodations are provided. The guidance in this chapter can be used by designers to understand transit needs and to facilitate planning level discussions with transit agencies to determine agency and project specific needs. As previously discussed, local transit agency guidelines should be used in jurisdictions where guidelines have developed them for bus stops. Thank you for watching this video covering Chapter 10 of the Multimodal Design Guide. For other chapters, please see the additional videos in this training series.